get to it. Let's start with the game that you're going to go to, Stephen A. Rockets-Lakers. You taking the home team?
Yes, I am. I think the Lakers are going to close them out. I think they know they can't ill afford to go back to Houston. Kevin Durant is not playing. If Kevin Durant was playing and healthy, I would have picked Houston to win this series. I did pick Houston to win this series, and then an hour before the game or two, we learned that Kevin Durant wouldn't be playing. I'm going with the Lakers to close it out and win tonight.
What do you think, Wilbon?
It's going to take some time to reincorporate Austin Reeves. You just don't put a guy who has that kind of usage back into a lineup without some bumps. I think the Lakers will win, but I think this has the capability of being
clunky.
Yeah, and an overtime game, and the Lakers will be great in the clutch, but it's not going to be easy.
Houston did win a Game 6 in Golden State last year, down 3-2, which surprised the heck out of me. Then they lost Game 7 at home. But I would be shocked. I'm with Steve. I would be shocked if the Lakers fool around tonight. I would be shocked. They play Oklahoma City Game 1. I bet you will be Sunday afternoon. I think we'll see that. I think the Lakers.
Yeah, clean sweep here. I think Lakers. Really quick. This is interesting to me. Raptors, Cavs. Who you got? Stephen A., go first. Quickly.
Cavs.
Cavs.
I don't like to pick Harden, but I will. Cavs.
Look at all of us leading Cavs. And then Magic Pistons is the other one. I'm going to go clean sweep on the Magic.
Unanimity.
We all feel that way, maybe? I don't know. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Thanks for hanging out here on First Take.
Alan, Cade Cunningham, you like him to go over 10 assists. Talk to me.
I do. He's been talking about a lot of turnovers, but right now he's in the James Harden service area turnpike on his way to playoff hell. So he needs help. But the assists are going to be big for him because they're going to try to take him away offensively, taking the pain away for him. Tobias Harris, you got to make shots. Jalen Duren, you've got to get in this series desperately. Duncan Robinson's got to make shots. Assists are big for him.
That was a great line. Donovan Mitchell, you have him over on 25 points tonight.
Yeah, he's had over 30 in both the home games. So I think it's important to show that he plays really well in his own building. And it was a terrible shooting performance for him and the entire Cavs team in Toronto in those two games.
And then the prop on LeBron is will he or will he not have a double-double, and you're saying yes.
Yes, but it doesn't mean points and rebounds. It could be rebounds and assists.
Yeah.
It could be points and assists because getting back Austin Reeves is going to be huge in this. He can be the playmaker and the facilitator, and he's still elite at that.
Those are the props. If you like them, they're a parlay. Cade Cunningham, 10 assists or more. Donovan Mitchell over on 25. LeBron a double-double. It's plus 513 as a parlay right now at DraftKings Sportsbook. And that brings us to the Lakers and Rockets tonight. And let me come to Shams now. There's a bunch of news here. Kevin Durant, do we expect him to play tonight? In fact, I know the answer to that.
Greedy. Kevin Durant is out. He's got a bone bruise and a sprained ankle. In that left leg.
Yeah.
And this will be his third straight game that he'll be missing. So you think about stiffness, mobility, other issues. They're going to be relying on their young core here moving forward. Elsewhere with the Los Angeles Lakers is Luka Doncic. He's been out since the beginning of the month with a grade 2 hamstring strain. I'm told it is a slow path on his recovery. If the Lakers do advance in this series and play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the next round, the expectation is that Luka Doncic will be out to start that series. There's still no clarity on a timeline. He's starting to ramp up a little bit more and more on the court. Still isn't progressing to full scrimmages and workouts yet. And then there's Austin Reeves. So reinforcements are on the way back. My understanding is Austin Reeves expects to play tonight in Game 5 against the Rockets, barring any setbacks. He's gone through all of his progressions, 1-on-1s, 3-on-3s, 5-on-5s. He's had no setbacks. He's about 4 weeks removed from a grade 2 oblique strain. This is, of course, going to be a massive boost for an all-star caliber guard for the Lakers.
Absolutely. I mean, give all the credit in the world to LeBron. He carried them, willed them in some moments to that 3-0 lead, and now he gets part of the reinforcements back. Wendy, you're there, obviously, covering this series. What are your thoughts here for the Lakers on the return of Austin Reeves?
Yeah, it's a big injection because one of the things the Rockets have done the last couple of games is they've really applied a lot of full court pressure to LeBron because he is their primary ball handler, and LeBron has seen his turnover spike. He has 16 turnovers in the last 2 games, and that's sort of enabled the Rockets to find some way to get some offense to generate turnovers. Getting Austin Reeves back, even if he's not at his normal minutes, will share some of that burden. He can be some of the initiator, some of the ball handler. LeBron has done an amazing job while Austin has been out getting the Lakers to this seed with home court advantage, which was huge, getting them this lead. But they do need some more help with him because this is going to have a culminating effect. We've already seen LeBron wear a little bit in this series.
What are your sense of it here, Alan? Is that the Lakers try and close it out tonight?
Yeah, and they need to. And the feeling was in Game 4 that LeBron kind of did dial it back a little bit because he needed to get ready for this game because they had the extra time off, and that's going to be important. But what you're saying about Luka really does change what could be an interesting second-round matchup with the Thunder, because you're going to think about it. By next week, it'll be a month that he has missed time. So just not only ramp up to be able to play, but missing an entire month conditioning-wise for him, because he's not doing a lot of conditioning. That's going to be a major effect on Luka, who could have been a difference maker in a series like that.
I mean, yeah, the Thunder is waiting for the winner of this series, and the Thunder look like they're just a buzzsaw.
Oklahoma City and everyone else.
Yeah, you're running into a buzzsaw. But if the Lakers were at full strength, if they had Reeves at full strength and they had Luka, it would at least, I think it would be a fascinating series. But you don't sound optimistic that we're going to see Luka, certainly at the beginning of the series and maybe at all.
Luka Doncic will be out to start the series against Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right.
The hope is, as the series goes on, he's able to make enough progress. But again, I'll reaffirm this. What I was told yesterday by someone around Luka Doncic in his rehab is it is going to continue to be a slow process for him.
It's not close. Windman, finish it up. Final thoughts, Lakers, Rockets tonight.
Look, the Lakers, they have played pretty much stress-free in this series. Durant is out tonight. They need to win this game because the last thing you want to do is go back to Houston. Right. Any chance that you have with Oklahoma City is going to be predicated on LeBron James being as fresh as possible. The series would likely start this weekend. Get it done tonight. Eliminate that situation. Send the Rockets to Cancun, and then start figuring out a way to make a dent in the Thunder.
All right, we will see that game tonight here on ESPN. We got a couple of games for you tonight. We got the Cavs and the Raptors, and then we...
First Take, we're continuing our discussion here from earlier in the show on Dave McMenamin's recently posted ESPN.com article where LeBron James addressed comparisons made between him and Michael Jordan. So we go back to this now, and there you can see it right now on ESPN.com. Stephen A., I'll let you have the floor as we continue this discussion. Go ahead, your thoughts?
The importance of this discussion can't be understated, particularly with Wilbon and Doggy here, because we have to understand why we're addressing it. I've got 14 different categories here with LeBron against Michael Jordan. And the only two that he's won in is the amount of years he's played, and he's got one assist title, and Michael Jordan never had one. Outside of that, every other category, Michael Jordan far usurps him. That's not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is that despite the fact that we can say that about Jordan compared to somebody like LeBron, we can't deny what LeBron has meant to the game of basketball, to the world of sports, what he's meant as an ambassador, as a marquee, how this guy came out of high school, cover of Sports Illustrated, which was supposed to be a curse, and not only lived up to, but eclipsed exorbitant expectations that came his way. We religiously recognize it, we applaud it, but nevertheless, we live in a culture where this guy is the first guy to go out and talk about how players are dogged. It's wrong. And he's the ringleader when it comes to saying that stuff. I'm accusing him of not paying attention to enough, nor appreciating the inordinate amount of applause that he has received throughout his career. Wilbon, Doggy, when LeBron James decides to retire, do any of us expect or desire for him to just go on Twitter or have a press conference and announce that it's over? None of us expect it, nor do we want it. We want this man to go from city to city, state to state, arena to arena to be celebrated because we're thankful for what he has given to all of us, being the great dude that he is as a player. But because of his attitude and the attitude that he's infused upon those within his inner circle who go out and speak on his behalf in an effort to always try to control the narrative, all of a sudden, it's now about the negativity, the negativity, the negativity. And I'm saying this is the latest example of it. And it's a damn shame. Whether it's me or a plethora of other people, even though my situation with him is different, it's all born of this subject. It was never about his son, because I'm not the one that was talking about him. It was never about that stuff. It's about the fact that this man is one of the greatest players who have ever lived, but in clear aspirations, pursuing Michael Jordan to 6 titles, him wearing number 23, him crowning himself the king, letting himself be called King James, calling himself the GOAT. When we sit up and use our eyes, because we watch the games, statistics, data, etc., and we're able to point to the fact that that is simply not true, it's offensive to him and his camp of people. That is what has happened. And I'm not going to sit by and have a show like this or have my platforms and allow that to be happening. I'm not going to allow people to think, oh, haters, everybody's hating on LeBron. That is not true. And it will be proven when his final goodbyes come. Because when he goes from arena to arena, let's see how much hate there's going to be then. How much you want to make a bet. City to city, state to state. People going to give him standing ovations and celebrate him wherever he goes. Because when the dust settles, it is undeniable that this is one of the greatest players to have ever played sports, not just basketball. We will revere him. We will celebrate him. We will appreciate him because he deserves it. And this stuff about people dogging him is going to go right out the window. And maybe then he'll finally hear the cheers that have always existed.
Stephen
because
A.,
Wilbon
I don't know. You asking a lot. You asking a lot.
Watch.
No.
Watch.
I'm not talking about the reaction to him. I hear you. I agree with you. There's no disagreeing. I'm talking about his and his camp's realization of it. I don't believe that they're going.
Oh, that's what. They'll never. Oh yeah.
I don't believe that can happen. But I want to take this in a slightly different direction for a second. And LeBron talked about in those comments to Dave McMenamin, he talked about what Jordan thinks of him. And I know a little bit of that. And I'm probably going to go off road in a way I shouldn't, because some of these conversations have been private over the years. But I'm going to mention one of them. Early in LeBron's career, I remember when there was some criticism in the playoffs when LeBron did not. It took LeBron 7 years like it took Michael. And there were tough criticisms made of LeBron James. Remember, he took the jersey off when he's walking out of Boston that final time when he lost to the Celtics. And I remember having a conversation with Michael, who said, hey, take it easy. When you talk about this tomorrow, take it easy on this kid, and here's why. And Michael had a list of reasons, of things that he really liked about LeBron James. He didn't have to do that. But he understood what was going to go on publicly because he'd been on the other end of that early in his career. People don't remember this when folks said, oh, the scoring champion can never win. A guy who shoots, right? Couldn't beat Detroit 3 times. Lost to the Pistons in a row, by the way, in the playoffs. So Michael understood that. Talk about despair in the playoffs. And so he wanted to soften that blow for LeBron James, who was coming up later. So if people think that Jordan has somehow resented LeBron, they're wrong.
False.
Stephen A., because we've had these conversations where he has said,
I've had him with Jordan.
Just don't let the narrative be this on this kid. And so for me, and one other thing, and these things have nothing to do with each other really. So we have had the great fortune of talking to the greatest players and coaches in the world of basketball all our careers. And if I had a list of people I love talking to, the GOATs of post-game analysis in the moment after a tough loss, after championship exultation, and you've got Magic, and you've got Michael, and you've got, I think of the people, just individual folks that you were able to sit at the locker and talk to, Ray Allen and just like all kinds of people. I'm at a loss now, Grant Hill and Allen Iverson. LeBron James goes to the top of that. You can't talk to anybody about the game who does it more beautifully afterward in terms of anticipating, engaging, listening to what you're saying, doing the viewer, listener a service in the explanation, in the insight. No one's better than LeBron at that over years of time. LeBron, 20 years. I've never had a conversation with him that I didn't come away with something unbelievably memorable. And so there are all kinds of things about LeBron that I just don't want to say negative things about him because of this GOAT conversation, which again, I'm never going to say LeBron is better than Michael Jordan or is good at it. It's never going to happen. But in terms of proving it, Stephen A., or in terms of building your argument, you wind up saying things that sometimes are nasty. And that's too bad because LeBron has built up this reservoir of goodwill. And we have gotten to the point as a culture where there's no sort of reconciling the two.
Well, the hazard that comes, the only pay, and I got to let Doggy in here, but the problem with that, Mike Wilbon, is that it comes from you. Because people don't know this. Doggy, you would know this. Mike Wilbon, the marvelous columnist from the Washington Post, who's been a star and, first takes #1 in the mornings. I always say that, in the mornings. Why? Because PTI's been #1, period. You say, I know my place, okay? I know my place. Wilbon, this dude, what I marvel most about Mike Wilbon is that I see Mike Wilbon going the hell off on television. And you love him. You love him. It doesn't matter what Mike Wilbon says, he's loved. Okay? So it's embraced. It's embraced differently from you. From me, not so much. But in the end, I come from that culture, Doggy, where I love when Sam Smith was being interviewed for The Last Dance, and they had all picked Michael Jordan and the Bulls to lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Michael Jordan walked up to them before Game 5. We took care of you, and today we gonna take care of you. Very, very simple. That's the back and forth that media had with the athletes until this generation came along. And then suddenly everything is about hostility and animosity because we're talking about the game of basketball. LeBron is right up there. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas. How about Kevin Garnett? You ever talk to him about basketball? Oh my God, you can't get enough of listening to Kevin Garnett about basketball. There's plenty of dudes, but the point is they're talking basketball. The resentment is an era that LeBron has fostered. And that is my problem because you celebrate that man and he deserves it. And instead of seeing it, he resents the fact that it ain't here. And that's the problem. And that's all I got to say. Go ahead, Doggy.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. And media, this goes with me too. Everybody takes themselves way too seriously. We're playing sports. We're here for a short time. He's #2 all the time. All right, you want to argue one. Mike's right. The problem with the list is you got to knock the guy who you're not putting one because you got to make your case for the guy you are putting one, and people take that the wrong way. It's sports. We're having fun, LeBron. Take it easy. We're having fun. If I left the 6th hockey guy out, take it easy. We're having fun. Him and I have a lot of fun. Steve likes to have fun. You like to have fun. It's sports. Why does everybody have to? I know social media's got a lot to do with it. Everybody has to hate. I hate you. You hate me. I can't stand this. And I'm as guilty as anybody because I'm always knocking a current athlete. So I guess I got to take some of the blame because I'm an old throwback. He's killing me half the time because I love Cousy so much. So I got to be, I'm probably as guilty as anybody. But what I try to do when you're doing these things, don't take it so seriously. Have some fun. It's sports, for crying out loud. And I think the problem with LeBron is, and his guys, they take it way too seriously. Go look at your bank account. You're a major star. You've won, was it 4 championships? 2 with the Spurs, 1 with the Lakers, 1 with Cleveland. 4 titles. Life's not that bad. Jeez, take it easy, for crying out loud. I think that's the basic issue I have with the whole situation.
Well, we get to see LeBron in action tonight. Lakers, Rockets. Stephen A., you're going to the game, right? Watch LeBron in person.
I'll be there.
You better go to the game. He's not here.
That's right.
He's not here with us.
Pivotal game. All right, coming up next, the Timberwolves and Nuggets have